How you doing, people? But come on, let's up this. Let's get the atmosphere going. Let's make out there's lots of us here, shall we? I've never seen such a tiny audience, honestly. I've been in bigger women. Anyway, so it's not a joke, it's a preference, mate. But, so let me introduce myself. My name is Gerry Kyei. That's Gerry with a G, initial K. If you like what you see tonight, please look me up on the internet. If you don't, I'm Eddie Murphy, who gives a shit. But bit about myself. I was born in Lambeth in South London, but I wasn't raised in London. I was actually raised in Essex, where I was fostered by an elderly white couple. And this is absolutely true, but a little bit sad. So I've got two sisters, but I wasn't raised with my sisters. What happened was, at the age of about 18 months, the social services came in and they took me away from my family. And the reason for that is true. It's all too common in the ghetto, I'm afraid. I was a crack baby, all right? So there you go. My sisters weren't. They're both cesarean, but that's life. Do you know what I mean? That's one of those things. So it's good to be here today. Do you like what I'm wearing, by the way? It's a new thing for me. Do you like this, girls? Do you like this look? It's all right, isn't it? It's all right. It's a bit way, isn't it? A little while ago, this bloke came up to, this bloke, a Cockney fella, comes up to, he's like this. He's like, all right, geez. He said, you look like a Victorian chimney sweep. Yeah, I would have laughed, but I wasn't wearing this. I was in the sauna. But that's it, a little bit of casual racism, my favourite kind. But by the way, I hope no one's offended by it, because I know people do get offended by race-based comedy, right? I was doing a gig recently, actually. This white lady came over to me. She said, excuse me, I liked your set, but I didn't like the racial generalisation you made about black people not liking snow. I went skiing recently and I saw this black chap having a wonderful time. Now, don't get me wrong, of course there are exceptions to every rule. But trust me, if you find yourselves on a snow-covered mountaintop and you see a large number of black people, I suggest you call the emergency services. There's been a plane crash. All right? It's so I'm looking around the audience and I was going to ask for any young people. Frankly, I can't see any. We've got any young lads in? Young lads, give me a shout. No, not you, Tom. By young, I mean under 30. How old are you, my friend? With the sort of quiff, the hair back. How old are you, my friend? 31, mate. I'm middle-aged now, right? And let me tell you something, it's crap, right? Avoid it at all costs. Those older people in the audience, no offence, mate, right? You'll back me up. It's rubbish, isn't it? Because the problem is with middle age, I tell you the problem is, it's confusing. Are you old or are you young? I don't know what to do, I don't know whether to buy a skinny latte or skinny jeans, I don't know whether to listen to Iggy Pop or Iggy Azalea. Do I get myself a 30-year-old girlfriend or risk prison? It's difficult, you know what I mean? And there's things they don't prepare you for. At school, your parents, they don't prepare you. I mean, you're 31, mate. What's your name? Mark. How you doing, Mark? Mark, they don't prepare you for stuff. Do you know how much a boiler costs? No, of course you don't. They don't tell you that. Do you know when I found out how much a boiler costs? 3 weeks ago when British Gas rang me up offering me 400 quid off one. 400 quid off one. That's twice as much I thought they cost in the first place. Do you know what I mean? And there's things you take for granted as a young man, Mark, right? Little things, excuse me, people, like going to the toilet. We all do it, right? As a young man, you go to the toilet, it takes, 10 seconds. You walk in, zip, out, zip, wash hands, it's all over. You turn 40, everything changes, mate. And back me up on this old-timer, right? It's this now. When you're walking now, it's zip, out. And you zip up, Mark, you wash your hands, you forget all about it. 2 minutes later, you're walking down the road, it's... Oh, for Christ's sake. Trust me, he knows. He can't remember the last time his socks only smelt of feet. It's disgusting. It's not great. Don't like being old. I've just come back from overseas, actually. I do a lot of work overseas. I was just doing this gig. It's true, right? I was at this lovely hotel resort. And they've got these things called swim-up rooms, right? Whereby you can literally swim straight up into your room. And you share that stretch of water with a few of the other guests. Only thing is, I made a fatal mistake. I forgot to introduce myself to my neighbour before I went for a swim, right? So day one, I went for a little swim. I popped my head up. I waved at a lovely little Swedish lady next door. She screamed, right? I said, what's the matter? Turns out she thought I was a Somali pirate, right? Oh, funny for you, she reported me to security, right? In the panic, I jumped out the water, my shorts fell down. She said, oh my God, now there's two of them. But not all the stereotypes are bad, are they? Do you know what I mean? But I'll tell you who I blame for this. I blame the Somali pirates, right? Hope there's none in. Don't offend anyone. But no, because they're sneaky. Do you remember the good old days when you knew who the pirates were? Do you remember? One leg, parrot on the shoulder, silly hat. Not these Somali pirates. Not so much as an eye patch with them. And what's more, they lull you into a false sense of security by all looking a little bit like Mo Farah. Have you noticed? It's true, isn't it? You're on your holidays minding your own business, see a boatload of Mo Farahs, you're not scared, are you? You're like, hello, you're right, wait. Next thing, you're starring in Captain Phillips, the sequel. Do you know what I mean? Because the thing is, the point of this joke is Mo Farah is a lovely man. Isn't he? Would you agree, lovely man? And I met him at 2012 at the Olympics because I was one of those games makers. You know, the volunteers with special jackets. And you might have read about me in the papers because they were calling me a hero. I'll explain what happened. It's about 3 days in and I'd spotted this gorgeous woman. Lovely. I couldn't keep my eyes off her. And she was walking along with her young daughter. Anyway, the young girl started to choke on a peanut or something. Now, we'd all been given basic first aid training. So that any fear for my own safety, I burst through the crowd, arm round the middle, bent over. Anyway, apparently the shock of what I was doing to her mother made her cough up a peanut, right? It's a fucking hero, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, getting older. Another thing about getting older, by the way, I don't know if you know this, you start to shrink as you get older. Did you know that? I don't know if it's obvious from down there, but I'm not a tall man. Do you know what I mean? I don't need a shrink. I'm dark brown. I'm as wide as I am tall. I look like an OXO cube naked. Do you know what I mean? Don't appreciate being described as stocky when you look like an OXO cube. Do you know what I mean? And the world is made for tall people. Everywhere you go, you see mind your head signs above doors, don't you? Never seen one on a doorknob, have you? Never. Do you know what I mean? And not only do you start to shrink, your nose and your ears keep growing. I've worked it out. By the time I'm 70, I'm going to look like a sausage dog. Do you know what I mean? But the worst thing is women, because women, they always want tall, dark and handsome. Do you know how difficult it is to find a woman shorter than me? I can't go to a pub or a bar. I have to go to the circus, you know. No, honestly, I don't meet women. They get fired at me out of cannons, right? It's tough. It's really tough. But I'm married now. I'm married. But the thing is, when you're a short man, you can't be too choosy. You know what I mean? You can't. You're fishing in a smaller pool, you know. And the woman I chose filled that pool. She's enormous, right? I'm not slagging her off. She's a lovely woman, but she's a big girl. You know what I mean? She's a big woman, you know. She's not obese, but let's just say she doesn't mess about at dinner time. Do you know what I mean? But she does have lovely teeth, which is very commendable when you consider the amount of work they get through. But we had a funny row about it the other day. She was sitting there. She said, you'd think a lot more of me, wouldn't you, if I looked like that Halle Berry? I said to her, don't be so ambitious. If you look more like Chuck Berry, I consider it improvement. But, you know, but it is still. I'm joking. I love her a bit. She's a lovely woman. But it is a woman's world, isn't it? Girls, would you agree? It's a woman's world, right? Because it's not a man's world. It's a woman's world. Forget Jane. It's a woman's world. And I'll tell you why, girls, right? Because you control what goes on in the bedroom, don't you? I'm standing up here slagging my wife off, but if she wants a little bit of naughty with me, right, she can click her fingers like that. If I want out, I have to plan it 3 weeks in advance. Do you know what I mean? I'm mowing the lawn, I'm doing the dishes, you know what I mean? And she gets cocky about it as well. She's got this thing she'll do to me. She'll say, Gerry, I don't know if you're interested. Tonight there's a clash on the television, she'll say. There's Agatha Christie's Poirot or there's football. What would you rather watch, Gerry? Would you rather watch Agatha Christie's Poirot or the football? And I'm like, oh, Agatha Christie, please. Yeah. Forget the fact I'm paying $5,000 a month for bloody Sky Sports. Do you know what I mean? And she's got this thing she'll do, say, Gerry, I'm open for business. I hate it when she does it. Why is it? I'm open for business. But I'm just like, yeah, all right. Just once I plucked up the courage, said, I'm open for business. I said, I'm not. I'm closed for refurbishments. She said, good. While you're about it, get that extension done. You can't win, can you? But it's not just humans, right? Women rule in every walk of life. I was watching this nature documentary the other day about animals, right? It was this bird of prey. Beg your pardon, this bird of paradise. This beautiful bird. The male bird is beautiful. He's green, red, gold, you name it. He is a beautiful animal. But the female is dowdy and brown, right? A bit like the missus, right? And this bird, what he does is he spends 6 months of the year flying thousands of miles to get this special little twig to make her this lovely nest, right? So he does it, builds it. It's beautiful. She walks along, takes one look at it, turns her nose up. She's not interested. And he stood there 6 months he's been doing that. But he has got one extra thing up his sleeve, right? So when she goes away, he turns around and he does this. So he spends 6 months a year flying thousands of miles to get this lovely twig for the nest. She's not interested. So then he does that for about half an hour. Do you know what she did? Buggered off with a pigeon. I've been Gerry Kyei. Thanks for your time. Thank you very much. Good night. Thank you.